Good morning. Good morning. I am not a get ready with me person, but it's happening this morning, y'all. It happening because I woke up a little behind the schedule, behind. That's weird. There it is. Oops. I was like, what's happening? All right. So that's not usual for me, but I do have to get to Richmond here in a little bit, right? I gotta literally do this video and walk out the goddamn door. Good morning. I'm Jackie Glassbama, Navy vet certified doer and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. Y'all, this is Thursday. It's Thursday. And let me see. Teach. Girl, you are my style and for inspiration. I'm just saying good morning to y'all this morning before I get into things. She is my style inspiration. I just had this dream because listen, I didn't know that I love fashion. Okay. I didn't know. But I was like, I need to get to a place where I can go to the General Assembly and I can like only wear people that style or people that create fashion in Virginia. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get to that level. My pocketbooks don't line up with being able to do that. But because I believe in when you make that investment, you make that investment. You do it. Like if you're gonna do it, then do it. Like you don't just, look, I don't believe in free internships. I don't believe in free labor. Oh, Tisha, thank you. That's this light. Tisha said your skin looks beautiful. It's the light. It's not, it's the light. Okay. Girl, we got a couple things today, and I just want to baseline what we're talking about this morning. I want to talk about campaign finance. So if y'all interested in money and how this stuff works with money, yes, you need to. This is for you. And I'm saying this because I've had so many people come to me, ask me about this race in Norfolk that raised $500,000, and I'm just like, yo, we are in 2025. Things are tight. Where is $500,000 coming from? That's what people are saying to me. So I want to talk about why campaign finance matters. I'm going to talk about why and how you can actually find and interpret data on campaign finance easily if you live in Virginia. I want to give some media examples because part of this is like when you don't have a good media source, that can make the difference as to what you have access to. I want to talk about the concerns about big money tools and then some solutions and actions that we can consider to make it not so expensive for people to run campaigns. Please ask all of your questions. Please drop them in the chat if you think of something. Also, I think I have this in my notes for today, but I'm also a person that believes in I typically raise what I need. And last year was varsity, so I'll talk about why I chose to make the financial decisions with my organization last year. But I also lost my train of thought. Oh, but what kind of there are legislative actions that can be taken about money and politics. So if y'all ready with me, put your questions in the chat. Do not hesitate. There's nothing that's going to make me uncomfortable. I don't like talking about money that much, but we're going to do it. So here's what had happened. Oh, cousin Ed, before I start, cousin Ed, no, don't give me a sponsorship. I just said I want to be able to afford to do that. I think I've been to so many different fashion shows over the past week where it's I want to be able to afford to walk in, celebrate in. I do it already, with my nails, with the art. And shout out to my nail tech and for Jada Garrison. Y'all see these? This is Jada Garrison's art. She's a local artist and has amazing art. I think her webpage is Jada, and it's spelled JAIDAG.art. And you can see she got this woman on there that's with the T. And I was like, she got the T on there and it's got poison on it. And me and my nail tech were talking about, shout out to Krishan at Get Nailed. She about to open up a nail school too. So if you're into that, this month, actually on the 17th grand opening. But she has this picture of this woman who is super debonair with this teacup and it's got poison on it. And she's just sending her play with me today. Play with me today. Okay. All right. I'm doing too much because I've got to get to Richmond. Like I'm supposed to be in Richmond at 10 o'clock. So y'all know, like I got to be out. Actually, I need to be there by 9:30 because the meeting starts at 10. I got to park and all that other good stuff. So we literally got to be out of here 6, 7. I got to walk out of here now. I snatch up the computer and go. So let's go. Fashion is, yeah. And I'll have my grill in. And I'm gifting myself another grill this year. I'm just saying. Okay. And Essential Grills, like these are all women-owned business. No shade, y'all. I'm with the big local businesses, but I also appreciate when those who have been kept out of business get business and become successful. So let's talk about this. Ready? So there has been something that has been buzzing in our community. And it's specifically around campaign finance reform. And it's not just, I think it's about reform and then also like, what the heck is happening? Why is there somebody running against the Commonwealth's attorney? Like all of this, I'm hearing it. The streets is calling. I've been taking phone calls in the morning, noon, and night, like, or texting because sometimes I don't got the bandwidth for a phone call. But it's specifically in the Commonwealth's attorney race here in Norfolk, we are seeing one of the candidates raise $500,000. And I've gotten a lot of questions, and it should lead to questions because our pocketbooks are tight right now, and it matters to people. Like, where's all this money coming from? Why does that matter? And so that's what we get into it. So let's get into this, y'all. Say this with me. I want you to say it with me. Money equals interest. Go ahead. Money equals interest. Money doesn't buy you people. I mean, well, some people can be bought. Let's just be real. But money equals interest. And if someone gives a candidate $1,000, they probably do want something from them, right? I'm going to show you. We're going to actually go through my campaign finance report for 2025. And I can tell you probably what everyone on my list wants from me. And if somebody gives a candidate $10, they probably believe in something, right? Both matter because one may come with more access, right? That is absolutely true. So what I tell people too, organizations, even business folks that decide that they want to give money, just because you give me I'm treating you the same way I'm treating my constituents. Right. That happens. Do I have friends that I'm like, okay, let me move stuff around and do this? But I have a hierarchy. I start with my constituents are number one. They said yes to me. If they call, we serve. And that's a team thing. And then I have, people that I'm working on policy with and maybe other interests. Like there are tier levels to how people are able to, like, who gets bumped in the queue. Right? Almost like going to I don't want to say the DMV. I was about to say DMV. It's almost like going to the ER, right? And my constituents are level whatever trauma, like number one. But here's the problem, y'all, is that we have created a system where ensuring that running for office is so freaking expensive that it is a barrier. Yeah, even me last year, like it's a barrier to not only getting into office, but remaining in office. Last year, I raised just enough to cover staff expenses because my mom had a stroke. My son was headed to college. I was mentally not in a place to be out here asking for money. I was just kicking just trying to survive the world last year. And I made a choice. Keep someone on staff, right? Raise this money just to keep somebody on staff to fill in the gaps that I wasn't able to do, or go without. And that was a choice that I made. But you got people sitting with a shit ton. I don't even know how to say it, of money. Like it's so world, and maybe because I didn't grow up with a lot of it and my relationship with money is different, but I'm like, what do you even do? But I also understand when no money, no mission, that I am able to give to organizations and do certain things because when I have money on hand, like make a contribution to, We Care, 757 We Care, or do these sorts of things. So like, I understand it handicaps me a bit. Like I still owe my dues. Like I have to pay dues to the Democratic caucus. Like I'm behind. I'm late. That was supposed to be done. Like, but I'm making lunch. I always say, are you willing to accept the consequences for a decision you make? So I'm gonna quit rambling and keep it moving. Actually, let me pause for a second. Thank you, Tisha. Yeah. Teach money equals interest. So Kristen said one of the delegates has over 1 million followers on Instagram. The conservative side of the house seemed to be more keen on reaching out reaching into the bottom of the pocketbook. If every Virginian paid an extra dollar a year in taxes, every delegate could have an office in their district so they can connect with their constituents. Yeah, that's true. That's a big deal for you. I know she's been getting me, and I appreciate Kristen Wheeler 77 on God, I'm supposed to be getting dressed on Instagram, actually saying like she's gotten on me like you need to have an office. I can't afford to have an office right now. I'm going to do my job and reach out to folks and see who can possibly, like, if somebody can donate, I can take stuff in kind. And then I've had people give in kind. But yeah, I do want to have an office where people can connect with me and be able to walk in, or to have or just to be able to host events without having to pay somebody, just little gatherings and in a community space. I would love to be able to do that. But she's absolutely right that, we also don't make enough to, unless you're independent wealth, we don't make enough to make moves like that. So I want to show you all something about how to kind of be a sleuth, how to be able to investigate. The tool is called VPAP, VPAP, and VPAP.org. It's the Virginia Public Access Project. It's free. It's nonpartisan. It's built to show you where money comes from. It'll even have some really nice visuals to kind of show you things. So let me pull this up for you real quick. I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to add that to the stage. Y'all can see that. Tell me you can see that. So VPAP, I Googled my name on VPAP, right? I just went into the search bar. Hold on, I'm gonna go big. I just went in, that's my alarm telling me, get yourself together. I just went to the search bar, vpap.org, and I looked up Delegate Jackie Glass. Now, I'm not gonna click on the donation thing yet. I'm gonna go ahead and click so you can see what it is. So what it does is it's gonna show you a lot of information about me. Like, here's who she is, here's the candidate, blase. It'll tell you donations that I've made. I made one donation this year to our sheriff, gifts that I've made. I went to a dinner and I was so mad they didn't tell me that it was this much money. Capital One went to a dinner. I want to say that's 2024. Let's look at 2025. Actually, we don't have 2025 for gift, that we just put that in. So you'll see what that looks like too. As a legislator, my office vendor, but we don't worry about that. I'm not a vendor. But we'll go to the candidate. And right here, it says in 2025, that this is 2024, 2025. If y'all could see that I raised $65,847 total, right? So over here, it'll say, what's my campaign finance summary, my top donors, donations, map of donors, expenditures, what I paid for. So like I told y'all before, right, I'm going to show 2025. We're going to just do 2025. Oh, well, let's do 2025 is fine. Apply that filter. We'll do 2025. Okay, so since the beginning of the year, which I'm not allowed to fundraise while I'm in session. Actually, I'm going to keep 2024 here. We'll do that. We'll go back and do 2024 so you can see. Since the beginning of the year, I'm only allowed to fundraise when I'm out of session. So this is since March. So it says I've had 37 people who have contributed $1,000 or more. And I've had 45 people who have contributed, $100 or more, $100 or less. That matters. If you contribute over $100, your name has to show up on my report. So you'll get people who's like, I just don't want my name on the report so people can see me. So they'll give $99. But it's a total, right? It's a total. So let's click on this cash contributions that were made this year to my campaign. If you can see this, right? I'm clicking on it. Right? So these are the cash contributions that were made to my campaign. And I think money equals interest. Money equals interest or care, right? Like, that's real. Let me say this. There's no shame to inform. Okay. There's no shame to inform. And right now, I just want you to know who's investing in your leaders. So here's the deal. This year, Pauline Foreman, really nice woman. I almost did not cast her check because I could not believe she was giving me $1,000. She has the sweetest little voice. She goes, ooh. She's a neighbor. And I didn't want to take her money. I didn't want to take her money because I was like, you can't give me this, but who am I? Like, I'm so grateful. Miss Pauline is the sweetest pie. She wants to see me be successful. Hannah Sobel, that is my business partner. So we work on Truth Be Told. She contributed $1,000, which is amazing. Louis C. Webb, he is into the arts. He's a friend of a friend, very kind person, just also a lawyer, I guess I could say that, and have always just been kind to me and said, just keep going. You got something special. Lauren Hershey, met him through a friend campaigning, just like she was making me call people that I didn't know. It was so uncomfortable. And she's like, Lauren, when you talk to Lauren, it's going to be easy phone call. This is how you're going to. So he essentially helped me learn how to call people that I didn't know. So him and the woman that was helping me when I first ran for delegate helped me make these cold calls. That's hard. Andrea McClellan, the first politician ever to respond to me in an email or to set up a meeting. It was really grateful. SEIU, those are union workers. Those are caregivers. Those are folks that work in industry. I appreciate SEIU. Tabitha is a friend. And Harringer Bush is a beer company. Guy is it lobbyists represent relationships with and Kristen Wheeler, Ebony Jakes is my friend, right? And it goes on. It goes on. So what you can also see, and I'm just showing you like this, I don't have a shame because this is money. Money is a real thing. Where my expenses went to. So it says government, so let me not do that. But Jay is my on staff right now, and that's what I did. And I think I spent maybe 40 grand on having her as a staff member last year. Y'all see that, right? That's what I'm talking about. You have the power to look up everybody and anybody that you want to find out what the hell is going on with their what the heck's going on with their campaign finance. Does that make sense? I'm going to go to questions if there are any. Good morning. This morning dew is awesome. Civic lesson. Yeah. I've been researching. What a cool thing is though on VPAP though is you can actually VPAP. You can actually look at like I think a real cool thing is to look at the maps and things that they have on there. Like they have these different graphics. And let me share this tab instead. And let me just go to VPAP. The important thing is that, anyway, we'll get into that another time, the other stuff, because I don't have a lot of time today. And I got to get on the road, get the show on the freaking road. So with that, so a while ago, I think it was in Florida, and I think we have to look this up, is that a woman won a statewide race with like $6,000 or $7,000 because races are expensive, and there's no reason that the system is built that way. You can win with people, but you got to know what you're up against. So imagine a candidate that has 5 donors that gave $100,000 versus someone with 1,000 donors who gave $10. This is 2 different types of accountability, right? One is beholden to few, the other is beholden to many. Can you hear me when I say that? One is beholden to few, the other is beholden with many. And here's the deal, and this is why I think I'm getting calls about this race, is because big money is a red flag for a lot of people. When we see $500,000 in a local race, I understand why that raises a red flag, especially when everyday people are asking, who are these people? You know, where did this come from? Where do I see myself in their campaign? Because they're asking me, where do I say? And I'm saying, do your homework, and then also teaching what the lesson is so they can go do the homework. And if you can't find yourself in their donor list, then you have to ask yourself why. Why can't you find yourself or people like yourself on a donor list? This doesn't mean that money is evil. And that is not what I'm trying to get across to you. It just means you should ask, what is the person being hired to do? And who expects something in return from their investment? It be getting weird out here. You hear me? So one thing I use Ground News to check media bias, because I talked about this about having, because I think there was a story done on the campaign finance that's happening, and people were like, it was just a surface level story. It didn't really go into details. I would pull it up and do it. I don't have time for that today, but I will pull it up and show you, who are these people? There is a shadow government, honestly, in Norfolk that has had this wielding power. Like, what has happened with this shadow government, and specifically in Norfolk, I don't know about any other places or spaces, but there's a level of like influence over what gets shown on the media. I saw it when I was doing the casino stuff, like, advocating for transparency. There is a level of, make it a great day. There's a level of influence that they have over who the candidates are. Because we have in Norfolk, we have what's called the East and a West Side, right? Like, that's what it is here. So the East Side is typically Black. The West Side is typically white, or socioeconomically. These are two different sides of town. And many of these people, the shadow government, it's like, I don't know, they're like these, somebody said they call themselves the G7 or the G12, these 7 or 12 white dudes who have been able to sort of influence who gets elected, who doesn't, all the way around. Because on this side of town, I can tell you, like, it's not a lot of money flowing. Like, it's not a lot of, I don't want to say money flowing, but it's not a lot of people that are jumping into races saying, I want to run. So these guys on the West Side will decide, here's who we're going to fund, here's how we're going to fund it. And then they give those people, right? So they pick their Black people too, to be fair. And then they end up with the influence. Like, they end up with, of course, you're going to talk to people that gave you money, or they decide, let me pluck this one from obscurity, or this person from, to do that. That is, when you've got it on both sides, it ain't pimping if you got it, I guess. That really does happen. That really, really does happen. And I've seen it. I've actually experienced it, and just been like, this is the craziness. So Ground News, and I think I want to show you all this. Ground News is a place where I'll skip over Ground News, but go to Ground News. That's a great place where you can check your bias. They also have this thing called Blind Spot, and it shows you stories covered on one side of the aisle. The other side, it's helpful when you're looking at local races on the surface level, like just looking at races at the surface level. So what can we do? I'm going to go to see if there are any questions before I keep it, because I was moving fast, and I apologize because I wanted to say all the things. Good morning, Daniel. Mr. Daniel, Brian Daniel. I don't know why I was saying Mr. Daniel. You know, Brian. All right. So it's cousin, it says, how do you think Citizens United 501c and 501c4s make it harder for grassroots politicians to do job? Well, because the thing about it is, if when you're grassroots, you don't come with an abundant amount of financial resources, right? Like, you just don't come with an abundant amount of resources. And when you're up against it, when you're up against truly big money, they can drown you out. The thing about it is, grassroots, you're trying to get your message. You're trying to get your message to folks on the to the folks on the ground. And what happens when people come and they're just able to drown you out with all the TV ads, with all the TV ads? And I think the question is, and so Cousin Ed, I think we need to do something definitely on what is Citizen United and why is Citizen United important? That's a whole a study. In 2010, was it right? In 2010, the Supreme Court ruled in a case called Citizen United versus the FEC. The FEC, the acronym, it's failing me. It's failing me. And they decided that corporations and PACs and corporations and unions can spend pretty much whatever they want, unlimited amounts of money. Unlimited amounts of money to support or to even oppose candidates, right? So imagine if big money comes in up against you, as long as they don't give directly to the candidate. This is where you got them super PACs from, right? They're like, this is a super PAC doing this work. So yeah. So when you see some of those flashy eyes that's like not with a campaign or something, that's Citizen United. And no limits. There's no limits. There's no real accountability. There's no real accountability. So it does make it hard. It does make it difficult. Misha, the website was VPAP, Virginia Public Access Project, vpap.com. David James Glass says, here's to things changing when senator delis can't use money for their personal reasons. Yeah, I think we got to go further than that, though. I think we got to go further than just personal use. We gotta go further than personal use. Yeah, and what is citizen and what are citizens? Yeah, that's what that is. So Citizen United, I think, was an organization that they got it to where like just unlimited amounts of money. So look at it's just recent. 2010 is when the decision came down, and it was one of the worst things to happen to us as a country, because it's when you start seeing stupid money, flashy ass big dollar pushes coming in from campaigns itself. And this is the idea. This is why we got the idea of the super PAC. So even in local races, it's not just the federal level, can be fed through goodness, my brain just farted. Anyway, we need reform, y'all. We need reform, and it's not small. This is why small donors and local accountability matters. This is why, and that's why it's like when I kept getting questions about this race, because the loudest voices in the room is the checkbook sometimes, and we've already lost that conversation. We've lost the conversation about being the loudest voice. So now it's the ground folks, and that's why we're here. This is why we should be having these conversations. And yes, cousin, it says the organization can remain anonymous and unlimited donations in a C4, right? A C4. So we've all heard of 501c3. 501c4 is a nonprofit that is able to that is also able to do political work. So they can endorse, they can support, or they can do those sorts of things. And Cousin H just recommended a great documentary on HBO called The Dark Money about this whole thing. Yeah, it is a whole thing. It is a whole thing. So this is the deal. This is what we do. And I'm not I'm not saying this for Jackie, but I'm also saying this for Jackie, right? And I think about it as like, I should have been educating on this, because this is why I suffer, right? I suffer. There is not a pathway to lead within the political sphere if you're not fundraising a lot of money. Just telling y'all. So like, if I ever wanted to take leading within the party very seriously, I would have to raise a shit ton of money. We also kind of call it fuck you money. Like, you got to have fuck you money so you can da. That's real. You got to raise a butt ton of money. Here's a few thoughts. Small donor matching, right? Make your downloads count. So like, $10 that make your blank. We could do a program where like small donors, you give 10, and for every 100, there's a public match. We can do donation caps, right? Do we really need $500,000 for a citywide race? I just don't see it. Transparency is a huge piece of more real-time reporting, less lag, right? We only do these so many times a year. And then public financing is a big deal. And that's something that a lot of us have been looking at, is what is public financing for qualified candidates, where the state or the locality says, here's the set amount of funding that we provide for people to run for office, and you can take these steps. So y'all, until we fix this, we have to be our own watchdogs. That is the truth. We have to be our own watchdogs. We have to be our own, I was about to say Inspector Gadgets. We have to be our own Batman, man. We got to get to it. And that's why I'm doing this today. And my ask to you is that take the time to look up at least one campaign finance report this week, like, or next week. Look up somebody's stuff. Use VPAP, the Virginia Public Access Project. Ask who's giving. Why might they care? Do I feel represented by this donor list? That's a whole thing, because the truth of the matter is, y'all, democracy is not just about who gets the most votes. It's about who gets heard before and after the vote. And I want to make sure that people are listening and people are being heard, period. That's fair. Now y'all know I said I gotta get to Richmond. I gotta get my butt. I'm gonna be late. Yes, David James Blatt says we are the grassroots here, delegate. Yeah, yes, we are. Listen, and you water me. He said Delegate Glass waters us. You water me. Just the fact that we all show up, just the fact that we all show up is, I don't know, it does something for me. It does something for me. So why not start a C4? No, you should start a C4. C4s are fine. I agree to disagree. Love to hear this. We need this, but Misha, we need this. These kinds of conversations. Like, we have to be in a space where I can hear what it is that you're saying and be like, I wonder why she's saying. Okay, I see where you're coming from, but no, there are a lot of great this is not demonizing C4s, but that decision, that Citizen United decision that we talked about, has really changed the landscape of capability. It's stupid money. I mean, like, I'll be like, here's what I could do with that. Look at what we could do. You know, I'm always spending other people's money. Which is why I need to raise my own. I need to raise my own. Yeah, I'd love to. I think we might need to do this, like have a town hall on money and campaign or something. We could do something. Cousin It says connecting communities through self-auditing is a huge way to help. Yeah, self-auditing is huge. Raiders, Naders, and citizen-led orgs that protect consumers. That's a big deal for me next year. If you're into consumer finance, that's high on my list. So Brian Day, I always want to say, because I'm military. So just know when I say your last name first, it's because I'm military. I'm used to saying last names first. Brian says, it's amazing how you share all of this with us. It's fascinating to me. I was a political science minor, and we didn't cover half as much as you're covering. That's okay. That's why we're connected. I'm just answering questions that I would want somebody to tell me. I'm super new to politics, and I know that's weird to say it. I didn't do political, especially party stuff, prior to getting elected in 2022. So I'm learning things, and I'm trying to share what I know as quickly as possible, because I know what it feels like to be in the dark on too many things. So Brian Daniel says, with all the lieutenant governor candidates on the ballot, I'm definitely doing my research. There are so many lieutenant governor candidates for us. Okay, like, it's so many. Yes, Navy, get it. So he says he gets it. So y'all, when I say your last name, it's not because I'm accustomed. I'm used to certain things. But yeah, that's the deal, right? Like, that is what it is. So what I would also say to you guys, and I'm getting a little closer because I genuinely I'm gonna have to run out the door because I'm playing too much with my time and your time. But what I would say is that there is an opportunity for us. The fact of the matter is I don't have all the answers, and I can't stay up on all of the things. I can't. It's too much. And so I really do rely on the community, and that's why I'm doing this video, is because the community has been calling me and just been like, Jackie, where do you stand? And I would like people to, instead of asking me where I stand, because that is also power and control too, like having influence. I recognize I have influence, and people want to know. You see me rolling through my bag. I got to get up. I know that I have power and influence, but I don't want people to I want trust, but I want verification, because sometimes I can get it wrong. And having people in the community that trust me, it's a huge deal. But having people that trust me and will go check, that is gold. Because I'm less likely to be detached or to get it wrong. I'm less likely, because it's like I come from a place of truth. I talk to people. So booyah. Like, that's why I'm standing on business with this, because I'm connected with the community. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, is that this is a real opportunity for us to get connected. Can y'all do that this week? Can you take or even as only one Misha said, you can look up C4s. Start looking at the C4s that are out there and who they're funding, because you can look them up too. You can look up the top industries that give and think about why they're giving, right? Have we made progress in those areas? Who sits on committees? There's also a thing where, like, because I sit on agriculture committee, now I get, like you saw the agribusiness council, I got a little, I think I got it said $100 gift from them. That was because I think I may have eaten somewhere, something. There's something, but like, depending on what committee you are, those interest groups are more likely to make a contribution. And I'm not saying this to make money ugly. I'm just saying that there are ugly personalities with ugly intent that put money into campaign that can make people ugly. I dislike what politics does to people sometimes. I dislike what money does to people sometimes. I also dislike that it is a barrier to getting people into office. It's also a barrier to getting people into leadership that are already in office. And it's not always fun to talk about, but that is the reality. So my last signing off to you all is like, thank you. If you have any further questions, do not hesitate to reach out to my office at deljglass.com. adeljglass@house.virginia.gov. You can go to deliajackieGlass.com. If you find yourself considering and pondering other things, and you like, Delia Glass, like, how do I look up this? How do I inform I will teach you the fish, or I'll find somebody, I'll pair you up with somebody, because remember, my time is limited too, just like yours is. I want to connect the dots. If you find this very interesting and are like, I want to work on this kind of legislation, there are people in the state government that are doing really amazing work on this. One that comes to mind to me is Marcus Simon, did a lot of work on campaign finance last year. Josh Cole out in, I think he's on Stafford. I'm not sure. I think he is. He did a lot of work on campaign finance. And because I sit on the Committee for Privileges and Elections, I get to hear campaign finance stuff. I vote on it before it goes to the floor. So yes, this stuff is important to me. Good ideas are important to me, but advocacy is important. Let me underscore this, is that being a politician, I'm going to say this very plainly, okay? Being in the public eye can stifle you with decision, can stifle you for saying things on your mind. And that can be hard for people. Let me say this. I contemplate all the time what comes out of my mouth, how it's being said. I overthink the decisions that I make because I know that they will be criticized. They can be taken all kinds of ways. So part of it, everyone, is that part of it is people need to be encouraged and they need to feel supported when they make a decision. So if something is important to you and you get a gang of people to stand behind a legislator and you know that you all are value aligned, sometimes that you can get people to move. You gotta just push. There are issues, there are a finite amount of issues that we just totally disagree on, right? Guns, abortion, probably religion in schools. Like, there are tons of things that across the board, we all just like, that part that goes down party line. There are a few. Those things are significantly fewer than things like this campaign finance. You'll see people on both sides are like, yo, we got to fix this. So there's opportunity to talk to legislators across the Commonwealth, right? We can start moving people, but they need sometimes the public courage, right? Because sometimes there's a lack of political courage because you're afraid to lose something. I've had moments where I was like, should I say this? I'm about to make people mad. Man, my caucus gonna be looking at me crazy if I do this. And I've had to take some votes that I wasn't necessarily 1,000% in favor, and I've had to kill some votes that I was just like, I'm not doing it. So I say this: you are important, you are valued, you are an integral part, and there would be people who would have you believe that you are not, so that they can still keep doing what they're doing. So if this is important to you, reach out to me and I'll connect you with the delegates that are doing really amazing work and the senators that are doing really amazing work. And hopefully you can make a difference, which I would love. Let me take a couple of these and I'm gonna get out of here. I find sometimes, Joanne says, I find sometimes what donations companies do affect, yeah, sometimes when you see certain people giving, you're just like, that's not my people. Or when you see certain people giving, you're like, yeah, they're my people. Those are my people. SEIU is one of the group of people they give. And I'm so grateful to the organization for the caregivers that, yeah. So I can see that. She said that's how sometimes it influenced her giving. Brian Daniel says it's exactly why I wouldn't be a good I have very no, don't do that. Right? You don't need a big filter to be a people want real people. I don't want anybody here to tell me, listen, I'm about to get you. Don't tell me why you can't be a politician, because you can do it. Some people don't want to. I didn't want to, but look at us now. Like I didn't want to. That I don't have to I get to choose my filter, right? I always choose kindness. Let me just say that. I always choose kindness. However, I can stand on business because I talk to my community as much as I possibly can. So like, it's not about filters. You could do it. If you wanted to do it, I guarantee. And if you wanted to start with a school board or city council, let's go. It's work that got to be put in. There's work that has to be put in, but you can do it. We need people that care, right? People that don't feel beholden to other people. So David James Glass, after I do this, I genuinely have to get up out of here. David J. Glass, form 99, the 990 search can give you a few finance details about you. Yeah, that's right. Your 990s that the C4s and C3s, the nonprofits have to give. Cousin Jackie sort of UIM, and y'all be for me. So that's why I be showing up and cutting up and confidently doing what I do. Okay. All right. That's it. That's all. I'm getting on the road to Richmond. I am going. Let me tell you where I'm going to Richmond. I'm late already. So let me tell you where I'm going. I am on the commission for Brown versus Board of Education. This is about those schools. There were schools that decided not to let Black folks in their schools. So we had mass resistance, and we have the scholarship for anybody that's a descendant of Virginia public school systems that decided they weren't going to do what they were supposed to do after Brown versus Board decision. And we give like $10,000 out to a lot of people. They're still descendants of this that are going back to school. And then you've got their grandkids, their nieces and nephews that come and apply. I love it. So we're going today to pick who gets that money. We're going to pick who gets that money. And then I'm going to get my tail back home. I should have did this before I did that. I'm gonna get my tail back home because I think my kid has a concert tonight. I don't know. Y'all, I don't know, but I'm doing this because I'd rather do this before I get on the road, and then instead of walking there looking crazy, because that's what I did. That's what I would do. Okay, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make it a great day. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself first, and then be kind to others. All right, let go. Oh, I love this. The president ain't got no filter. Hey, did you hear that? Daniel, look, Daniel, let me just tell you something. I love this, okay? David James Glass said, and we are no relation, but I feel like we're kinder because he be here all the time. He said, the president ain't got no filter. The game has changed. Speak out, okay? Okay? Bye, y'all.